India has made space history, becoming the first nation to soft land a spacecraft on the moon's south pole.
The aftermath of World War II saw emergence of two superpowers, America and Soviet Union. They both understand that a direct clash on the battlefield would be catastrophic for both the sides. So they waged war on the ideological and geopolitical front. But by 1960s, their rivalry was not confined to these domains. They also competed in military, nuclear, and space fields. This is how space became a domain of geopolitical competition. This competition spanned various aspects of space exploration, such as manned mission, satellite deployment, and lunar landing.
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
Over time, space became an arena for geopolitical conflict. But there was another country who was interested in space. That country was India. India did not pursue space exploration to challenge Russia, America, or China. India established its space program to serve the common good of its people. For example, at that time, it was about helping its common people in various ways like weather forecasting, crop monitoring, disaster management, communication and broadcasting, navigation, remote sensing, and of course it was very useful for national security and military purposes. The visionary behind the establishment of ISRO was Dr. Vikram Sarabhai. He successfully persuaded Prime Minister Nehru to initiate India's space program. Although Nehru initially harbored doubts, it was only after India's defeat in 1962 war with China that Nehru recognized the significance of such a program. Initially, ISRO was conceived as a committee to advise the Prime Minister on space matters. However, in 1969, it evolved into the ISRO we know today, a highly successful space program. India's first step into the space occurred in 1963 with the launch of its inaugural rocket, a modest beginning that surprises many given its subsequent achievements. Notably, the first rocket provided by NASA was transported to the launch site using bicycle and bull cart. In 1969, India achieved a significant milestone by launching its first indigenous satellite, Aryabhatta, named after the esteemed Indian mathematician. This feat was accomplished with the assistance from the USSR. Fast forward to June 1981, India developed its own satellite launch vehicle, SLV-3, which carried the Rohini-1 satellite into the space. Over time, ISRO's technology and accomplishments underwent substantial enhancements. The organization garnered global recognition in 2014 when it became the fourth country in the world to successfully complete a manned mission, a remarkable achievement in a single attempt. But the American newspaper New York Times mocked India by printing this. But that did not discourage ISRO from moving forward, because in 2017, ISRO achieved a remarkable feat by launching staggeringly 104 satellites in a single mission, a world record accomplishment.
I was shocked the other day to read that the nation of India, on one rocket launched, deposited more than 100 satellites in space. They may be small in size with different functions and so forth, but one rocket can send up, I think it was 111 platforms.
What truly sets ISRO apart is its remarkable trifecta: cost effectiveness, efficiency, and an impressively low failure rate. Notably, ISRO operates on a much lower budget compared to other prominent space organizations. The question that naturally arises is, how does ISRO manage to accomplish so much with such limited resources? The answer lies in the concept of frugal engineering. Consider the case of ISRO's recent moon mission, Chandrayaan-3, which was executed with a budget of 700 crore rupees, which is very close to budget of certain Bollywood movies. Comparing with other countries' moon mission, ISRO achieved its objective with a very decent price. The distinction in ISRO's approach becomes apparent when we examine their orbital path strategy as opposed to the conventional direct path taken by other countries. By adopting orbital path, ISRO optimizes fuel wages, resulting in a more efficient route to the moon. However, the era of exclusive reliance on frugal engineering is going under transformation due to the dynamic innovations in private space sector. SpaceX, for instance, has emerged as a potential competitor to ISRO in terms of cost-effective satellite launching, primarily due to its pioneering reusable rocket engine technology. Furthermore, SpaceX created a new record by launching a staggering 143 satellites simultaneously, consecutively. In order to maintain relevance in the competitive space market, India needs to fire up its private sector's participation in space endeavors. Globally, the space economy is valued at approximately $360 billion, with India's current share accounting for merely 2%, in stark contrast to China's substantial 14%. Numerous experts assert that India has the potential to capture an 8 to 10% share of the global space economy. Many projections suggest that India's space economy could ascend to a remarkable $40 to $100 billion by 2040. To achieve this ambitious feat, India is currently privatizing its space sector. In global space economy, two major types of businesses dominate. The first involves launching of orbital satellites, while the second revolves around manufacturing space equipment and satellites, followed by offering services such as telecommunication, navigation, earth observation, weather forecasting, and many more. An article from the New York Times recently highlighted the India Space Agency's endeavors. India currently boasts 140 registered space tech startups, some notable names being Pixel and Dhruva. A significant portion of the revenue is generated through satellite launches into the orbit. Analyzing data from the previous year, the USA led with 87 launches, China comes second with 84 launches, and India stood at 5th place with only 5 orbital launches. This trend is not an anomaly. Historically, India's share in space activities has been relatively small. According to Dallas Kasabowski, a principal analyst at Northern Sky Research, if SpaceX is fully occupied, alternatives need to be considered. Geopolitical tension and concern about technological IP theft has led many Western nations to seek alternatives to satellite launches from China and Russia. This provides an opportunity for India to step in, and recent developments have shown just that. For instance, OneWeb, a UK-based company that traditionally relies on the Russia Space Agency, had to shift its deal away from Russia due to the Ukraine conflict. India emerged as a successful alternative for OneWeb, with ISRO effectively launching their satellite. With the help of new space company, astrophysicist Jonathan McDowell noted that India's rocket has faced reliability issues in the past, but the recent success of Chandrayaan-3 mission boasts the capacity of ISRO in the world stage and increase its reliability when it comes to orbital satellite launching. India's moon mission goes where no nation's gone before. Furthermore, the uniqueness of India's position lies in its capacity to provide a large, cost-effective launch vehicle. Few players in the industry possess this combination of capabilities and affordabilities. This scenario presents India with a valuable opportunity to establish a stronger foothold in the global space economy. SpaceX has outperformed all competitors in the field through its groundbreaking reusable rocket technology. Currently, both India and China are also in the process of developing their own reusable launch vehicles, and ISRO now sent another mission, Aditya L1, to study the Sun, which China even had not done yet. India became the first country in Asia to do that. Considering ISRO's low budget, it has not only surpassed its rivals in terms of achievements, but it has also outdone itself. And most importantly, it has left UK and Europe far behind when it's come to space race. When you look back at its modest beginning, ISRO has made significant strides, and it's just beginning. ISRO's future plans are way more ambitious and interesting. India is carving out its space in the space race. Always remember, ISRO is not just another space agency. ISRO is a beacon of hope, science as a guiding light in the skies for India's 1.3 billion people who have a burning ignite for success.